When I saw this as a screenshot yesterday on Instagram, I immediately got enraged. I wasn't surprised, but I was more so disappointed at the same time. Mainly because we've seen something or like this before happen in the past. We saw this with, and shout out to Nicole for doing this story, with the mayor. I think his name is Wilson Good or William Good. Trust me, it's nothing good about him. Of Philadelphia, the former mayor who okayed the bombing of Move, and I just found out through her that they're naming a street after him, which is a very bad idea. Then you had people like David Clark, who was in that position and did all kinds of crazy stuff and allowed the black inmates to be pretty much tortured to death. One of them being an infant because the woman gave birth and they didn't give her the proper care. Then you had the judge or whoever she was handling the Meek Mill situation. I think that was more personal than anything. And now you have these two individuals. And a lot of people say that in order for black people to really have their affairs in order on the, in the establishment, we need to put people in office that or in positions that look like us. But it seems like a lot of them do stuff like this, and we end up getting the shorter end of the stick either way. So if we put some white people in there, we know they probably not going to do much for us. And if we put the black ones in there, they ain't going to do anything for us either. But I noticed that when it comes to the black ones, they're put in there by other white people. So it's not enough to just have a face be in these positions, but they also have to have some kind of action behind it as well. And these two right here have shown their black ass to us on a silver platter. Let me read what it says. When you think about the 26-year-old black man murdered in his own apartment by a cop, never forget who the police chief and the DA are that protected the officer and not only made sure she wasn't fired, but she was able to get bail. Not all our kinfolk are kinfolk. That last line is probably one of the most truest lines to come out of a black person's mouth ever. Because it is such a dead on statement. I don't think that has to be like one of the top 5 quotes ever spoken by a black person ever. Because it's so true. Now we're going to start with the individual on the left. Her name is Renee Hall, and she is the police chief for Dallas, for that department. And according to what I looked up, it says she's the first female police chief to be in that position. So fucking what? Okay, you made history. Whoop-de-doo. But the fact that this white female cop killed this black man, and you're sitting here and you're going to defend her, and she got a lot of backlash, well deserved, for why this black woman actually sat up here and defended it. It's not even the fact that she's black and that Amber Geiger is is white. At this point, it's about right and wrong, but the fact of the matter that race does play a factor in there, we're going to throw that in there as well. And Amber Geiger was dead wrong for what she did, and Renee Hall knows that. And she's still going to sit up there and defend her. And she's standing firmly on her square. She's not even taking into consideration what the people are saying and how wrong it is of her to sit up here and defend this woman that murdered this man in his own apartment. Like, that is so fucked up. Then you have the DA right over here, and I don't even know where her name is. I was trying to find it. I think I did, but I missed it. If I do come across it, then I'll mention it. Then you have the district attorney over here who's telling people to be calm and not do this and not do that. And she was the one, I believe, that was responsible for helping her get the bail, if I'm not mistaken. So she could bond out of jail while they continue to do their so-called investigation. I just did a video about a black man by the name of Blaine Hodge, who protected this woman who he didn't know from getting hacked up by her crazy boyfriend with a machete at a Starbucks in California. And I said, have you noticed the amount of stories that have come about where you have a lot of black men who are protecting black women, or protecting people in general lately, like we are the heroes of every story. And if y'all don't remember, at the end of that video I said, will there ever be a time when a black woman would have to come to the aid of a black man? Well, we know these two ain't. Even though Botham Jean is no longer living, you could still come to his aid and say, no, we're not going to bond her out. Or no, I cannot defend her actions. Just because she worked in your department and she may have been a good person on the surface while you were there or what you saw, does not mean she's a good person overall. What she did here to Botham Jean was nothing good. She killed that man in cold blood. She murdered that man. That's why I don't know why they have it as a manslaughter charge. They probably barely want to charge her with that. And like I said, you had the DA who contributed to her being bonded out, or the bail being paid off, so she could not sit in prison right now. But like I said, would there ever be a time when, and I'm not saying this is for all black women, but I'm using these two for this example, would there ever be a time when a black woman would have to come to the aid of a black man? And that's why I said I know that these two would definitely not fit that mold. And then on top of that, this was a white woman that did this, and you're defending her. That's some off code shit. I don't care what anybody says. This man is dead. I know you're trying to, you're trying to maintain your job and everything like that, but put the goddamn job aside for a second and do what is morally right. I'm glad people are going in on these two, and as they should, because it disgusts me. It really does. It doesn't surprise me at all. Do you know, when I posted this up on my Twitter account, I had a lot of people, especially a lot of black people, mostly because that's mostly who follows me anyway, saying they weren't surprised by this. Black women, some of y'all should be upset that people even responded with that. Because that basically, what that's saying is they're used to you being quote unquote traitors. And this was both black men and black women saying that. If you don't believe me, you can go to my Twitter account and look at the thread under this picture. The responses are there, and they're completely organic. I didn't sway them to say that. All I posted on here was this picture and said no comment. I didn't leave a whole assessment as to why I was mad at what I was seeing. What I'm telling you right now is the first and probably only time you're going to hear me speak on this. Because I don't think I can bear to speak on it again. Well, I take that back. I most likely will talk about it again in my live stream. And that'll be it. But this shit it's not only disgusting and disturbing, but it hurts. Because it shows that even when you have people that are in positions that of quote unquote power, we still aren't protected even by our own. The single most thing they could have did was say, nope, she's not getting bond. Or nope, we're not going to defend her. We can't defend her actions. Hell, even some white people don't even do that. Not saying that they all don't, because we know that they'll code up like a motherfucker. But that's basically what they just did. They got on code, but not for us, but for her. That basically saying we okay her actions. They would rather side with their job than to side with their own. Now it makes you wonder, if this was a black woman or another black man who did this, would they have bonded him out? Would they have defended him or her? All you got to do is look at what happened with the Meek Mill situation and a woman involved with that. And you know what's so funny? The DA in this picture almost looks like the woman who had it in for Meek Mill. From the facial features all the way to her wig. That's really all I have to say as it pertains to this right here. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If there is a link that's attached to this, I'll post it in the description. And the links to the show will be down below. I'll talk to you in the next one.